Hello everybody, welcome to Game 12 of the Washington Nationals season replay. We have moved on from New York and Philadelphia for the time being, and the Nationals have moved back home to the friendly confines of Nationals Park, where they will be taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first of a 3-game series. We'll set the rotations for you. In Game 2, it'll be Chris Archer against Anibal Sanchez. And in Game 3, it'll be Jameson Taillon against Max Scherzer. Now, in this game, it'll be, I think I already gave you a preview, Patrick Corbin for the Nationals against Trevor Williams, a right-hander for the Pirates. Those will be your starters. Look at the starting, or not the starting lineup, but the standings coming into this game. Nationals hold a slim lead over the Mets, 7-4 to 7-5. 2-game lead over the Phillies. A 4-game lead over Miami, and 4.5 over Atlanta, who's struggling early. All right, let's look at the Pirates starting lineup that they will be presenting. First of all, before I get to that part, let's look at the ballpark effects. We've got singles, lefties 1 to 15, righties 1 to 12, home runs 1 to 11. This was a night game, 67 degrees, overcast, so it deemed to be average weather. So that's where that's coming from. Lineup for the Pirates will be Adam Frazier at second, Starling Marte in center, and I always have trouble pronouncing this guy's name. Jung Ho Kang, I think, is at third. Josh Bell is at first. Batting fifth will be Pablo Reyes in left field. J.B. Shuck will be in right. Jacob Stallings, the catcher, will hit seventh. Eric Gonzalez, shortstop, will bat eighth. And batting ninth, Trevor Williams will use pitcher hitting card number 2 because he was not carded with his own pitcher hitting card. For the Nationals defensively, Soto will be in left. He's a 2-0 E2. Robles is in center with a 1-4 arm E7. Eaton's in right, a 3-1 arm E7. Rendon's at third. He's a 1 E13. Defoe's at short. He's a 4 E5. Dozier's at second. He's a 3 E8. Zimmerman's at first. He's a 3 E12. Gomes is behind the plate. He's a 2 with a -1 arm and an E1. And he also has a throwing error chance of 8 and a pass ball chance of 5. And Corbin is on the mound. He's a 3 E0. So, Pirates enter this game 4-7. Exact opposite of the Nationals. Of course, they're in the National League Central Division, so not really monitoring that division for standings. I'm just doing the East. And I think we're ready to go. Let's get everything in place here. I think we can fit everything in nicely, hopefully. So Patrick Corbin finishing up those warm-up tosses. And he will be facing Adam Frazier. So Adam Frazier will lead it off against Patrick Corbin. And I do have a new, did print off a new set of defensive grids, and that's going to cover the Pittsburgh series for the first 3 games, and then San Francisco will come to town after that. So next 6 games will be against the Pirates and the Giants. So here we go. Corbin against Adam Frazier, lefty on lefty. Frazier enters the game hitting .227, 2 homers and 5 runs driven in. That's a 6-9 against Corbin, and he struck him out. So Corbin gets the strikeout to start things off, and I think I've got everything pretty well in the camera there, so I'm going to go ahead and have a seat and continue the game, but I just wanted to make sure that I could see through the camera, because I got to stand up to look through the phone the way I've got it positioned. It's the only way I can tell. I don't have it hooked up to a computer because I'm not doing a live stream, so I can't tell what you're going to be able to see until I look down through the phone overhead. So now got that straight. Starling Marte, the center fielder, he's hitting .233, no homers and 2 runs driven in. 2-6 against a lefty is a hit by pitch. But we're getting a lot of that lately. A lot of hit by pitches have been coming up as of late. Now I can't move Starling Marte yet because he may look to get a jump. Now Corbin is a -2 arm. Corbin's a -2 hold. Gomes is a -1 arm for a composite -3. So you're going to actually take 5 away if you make it your jump But if he gets his jump, it'll be a 14. That's pretty good odds. So 2 to 5 or a 12, he gets the jump. He does not get the jump, so he will have to stay put. He will be held. And Jung Ho Gung will start us off. 6-10 against Corbin. That's a ground ball third base X. That is Rendon. He's a 1 with an E13. So we're checking for a double play possibility. A 5 or higher, he can turn the double play. It's a 19. He definitely can turn the double play as long as there's no error. He is an E13, so he needs to avoid 11, 16, and 18. Which he did barely. It's a 15. So it's going to be around the horn double play. 5-4-3 turned by Rendon. And the Pirates are gone here in the first. No runs, no hits unless you count the hit batter. No errors and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Pittsburgh, nothing. And the Nationals coming to bat. Let's look at the Nationals lineup while I move the cards around. Adam Eaton in right field, Dozier at second, Rendon at third, Soto in left, Zimmerman at first, Gomes catching, Defoe at short, Corbin bats eighth as pitcher, and Robles in center field will hit in the number 9 position. For the Pirates defensively, we have Reyes in left. He's a 4 with a 1+1 arm and an E3. Marte is a 2 with a -3 arm and an E6. JB Shuck is a 3 with a 0 arm E3. Gung is a 4 E35 at third. Gonzalez is a 3 E21 at short. Frazier's a 2 E8 at second. Bell is a 4 E16 at first. Stallings behind the plate is a 2 -2 arm with an E7. He does have a throwing error of 20, so if a T rating comes up, it's an automatic throwing error, and his PB is 3. And Williams is a 3 E10 on the mound. Interesting because Josh Bell is now a new member of the Washington Nationals, so that's kind of interesting. See how that move works out for him, because you don't know what Zimmerman's going to do. He may retire, and so they're going to need some first baseman or somebody at first base to provide some pop. All right, so Adam Eaton will lead things off for the Nationals against Trevor Williams, the right-hander. And I'm not that familiar with Trevor Williams, but on the season he was 7-9 with a 5.38 ERA and 26 starts. So I did look up his numbers on the computer. Let me share that with you before we start. In the computer simulation, he's 0-2 with a 3.46 ERA. I know it's a nasty-looking 3 there. But it's a 0-2 with a 3.46 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 14 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, and 14 strikeouts. Forgot to share that about Corbin. I'll do that in the second inning. I'm not going to worry about flipping the book over and over. Just wait till the second inning to do that. All right, so Adam Eaton against Trevor Williams. Eaton hitting .222, 2 homers, and 11 runs driven in. 3.7 for Eaton. All these hits in column 3, and he found a strikeout. So Eaton still struggling here in the early going. That'll bring up Brian Dozier. He's hitting .297, 3 homers, and 6 runs driven in. 6.6, and that's another strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Williams. 2 up, 2 down for Anthony Rendon. He's hitting .349, a homer, and 5 runs driven in. 2-3, and that is a ground ball to first. Bell will take it himself, step on the bag, and the inning is quickly over. So nothing doing for the Nationals. We go to the second, no score. And as promised, the Corbin's coming into this game 1-1 with a 5.40 ERA. Is that shown on camera? I think it is. Let me go back and look up here. Yep, okay. 1-1 with a 5.40 ERA. 10 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned, 4 walks, and 12 strikeouts. So we go to the bottom of the second. Neither team mustering much offense in the first. And Josh Bell will lead things off. On the 19 season, he had 37 home runs. So he's definitely got some pop. Switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Corbin. And it looks like he does slightly better against right-handers because column 1 is much better versus right than versus left. Column 3 is good either way, and column 2 is bad either way. But against lefties, his column 1 is not quite as good as column is against righties. So let's see. 5-11, it won't matter, it's off the pitcher card. 5-11, fly ball right field X. That is Eaton. Eaton's a 3, which means, as a 3, he will need a D20 roll of 7 or higher to get to it. And he does. And he's got to avoid the error. And his error chance is an E7. He's got to avoid 6, 15, 16, and 18. And he does. It's a 4. So it's a good play for Adam Eaton. 1 away. Brings up Pablo Reyes, the left fielder. He's hitting 167. No homers or runs driven in. Oh, forgot about Bell. 304, 4 homers and 9 runs driven in entering the game. That's a 2-9 for Reyes against the lefty. Struck him out. So 2 down. And that's going to send us to J.B. Shuck. He's got one of these computerized cards. J.B. Shuck hitting 231. No homers or runs driven in. 3-4. And that is a... Let's take a look at this a little closer. I have a hard time seeing these computer cards sometimes. So let's take a look at what this 3-4 represents. 3-4 against a lefty. Boy, it's even harder to see on here sometimes. It looks like there's something here. Maybe a ballpark's home run check. I can't really tell on this printout. It says fly ball to left question mark, but there's something here by the 4, but I can't make out what it is, unfortunately. So rather than assume something, it's not a triangle. It could be the pound sign. So it looks like it's probably a ballpark home run chance. So that's the way I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it as a ballpark home run chance because that's got to mean something. It's not the little sideways carrot, so it's got to be the ballpark home run chance. It's got to. I don't know what else it could be. So that's why I'm going to play it. So we're looking at the ballpark home run chance for J.B. Shuck. He does have normal power against lefties. So the lefty home run chance is a 1 to 11, same as it is for righties. It's a 12 though, so it is caught out there in left field because it was designated to go to left field. So Soto brings that in, and the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the second. And Trevor Williams, let's see, first of all, nothing doing for the Pirates, so we'll clean that up real quick. And now we will go to the bottom of the second. Juan Soto, the red-hot Juan Soto. 5 home runs, 14 runs driven in, and a 333 clip so far. Williams, a 210 to Soto, and that's a ballpark home run chance right here. Again, 1 to 11 would do it. And that's a 17, so that's going to be a fly out. If it's failed, I guess it's a fly out to right for a left-handed batter, so we'll call it a fly to right. 1 down, and that'll bring up Ryan Zimmerman. He's hitting only 184, no homers and 1 run driven in. That one shot the coop. We'll keep the 4 and the 5 and re-roll the other red die. That's a 410. 410 is a catcher X. That is Jacob Stallings, and he is a 2 E7. So as a 2, that's a 3. That's a W/G. So it looks like a ground out type play. He is an E7. So he's got to avoid 3, 15, 16, and 18. And he does. So it's just a 2-3 ground out for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Yan Gomes, hitting 222. 2 homers and 6 runs driven in. 4-3 against a right-hander is a fly ball right field X. That is Mr. Shuck. He's a 3 E3. So as a 3 outfielder, he needs a 7 or higher to get to this. And he does. And as an E3, all he has to avoid is 3, 18, and 15. And he does. So it's good play for Mr. Shuck. He takes care of 2 of the outs. 3 up and 3 down again. We go to the top of the third, no score from Nationals Park. And Jacob Stallings, the catcher, will lead things off. It'll be Stallings, Gonzalez, and Williams. So Stallings and Gonzalez will start us off. Stallings checks in. He's only 0 for 6 for the season. Cervelli's been doing most of the catching, but he's 0 for 6, so he's got nothing across, no average. 112, and he's going to hit a low max to short, and Defoe will make the play. 1 down, and that's going to send up Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop. He's hitting 357, no homers and a run driven in. Pretty good for a number 8 hitter who might get walked a lot. 2-7 against a left-hander, and that's a single, so he's going to increase that average. And that will send up the pitcher, Trevor Williams. And Trevor Williams is a B bunter, becomes a C bunter. So he will give it a bunt as a C. That is a 6. So a C and a 6 says defense. And on defense, it says batter drops down a bunt, and the defense has the option of throwing the batter out or the... So rather than take a chance on Gonzalez, who runs pretty well, runs at a 14, they'll take the Shore out. And with the 5 on the white die, that is the first baseman. So Zimmerman will just tag Williams as he's coming down the line, take the Shore out. Gonzalez will go to second with 2 down. But now it's up to Adam Frazier to get the run across. Frazier struck out his first trip. Gonzalez will not be held. Nothing on the 20. 1-9, and 1-9's a ground ball to first again. So again, Zimmerman, easy play, ends the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. And it'll be Defoe, Corbin, and Robles for the Nationals. Bottom 3 in the order. Facing Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams has a fatigue of 6, as does Corbin. So they're definitely good to go for a while. Defoe leading things off, 241, no homers, 2 runs driven in. Switch hitter, batting from the left side rather, 1-4, and that's going to be a leadoff walk to Defoe. So now Corbin has a chance to bunt. Follow suit with what Williams did. Corbin, though, is a D bunter. He's a horrible bunter, but still the strategy says you got to bunt, or at least try. So he becomes an E bunter, which is not very good. He needs a 3, 4, or 5 to get the good sacrifice. Possibly a 6 could do it as well. That's a 3, so it is a good sacrifice. It paid off. So E bunter, 3 rather, is a good sacrifice. 5 is the first baseman, so Josh Bell, his only play is to tag. His only play is to tag Corbin, 3 unassisted. And that moves Defoe to second. So Corbin a productive out. Defoe will not be held. Here is Robles, who's hitting a measly 108. 1 homer and 3 runs driven in. Nothing on the 20. Robles, 5-9, and that's ground ball third base A, and that's going to freeze the runner. At second, he has to hold. So 2 down, and now it's up to Adam Eaton. Struck out his first trip. Nationals looking to break through 4-8, and they will. 1-4 is a triple, 5-20 is a double. So Eaton got the pitch he wanted and delivered a RBI double for Adam Eaton. And with Defoe in second, he will score without a throw. Nationals lead it 1-0 on the RBI double by Adam Eaton. And Eaton will be held at second base with 2 down for Brian Dozier. Nothing on the 20. Dozier, 1-7, and that's a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. After 3, it is the Nationals 1 and the Pirates nothing. Top of the 4th we go. Starling Marte to lead off, followed by Gung and Bell. Against Patrick Corbin. He's got a 1-0 lead to work with. Marte hit by the pitch his first time up and then erased on a double play. 4-10. It's a fly ball center field X. That's Robles. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. Just a matter about an error. And he is an E7, which means he needs to avoid 3, 4, 15, 17, and 18. And he does, so it's a good play for Marte. For Robles as one center fielder flies to the other. Here's Gung. He hit to that double play. 6-8, and he's going to ground to short again. This time nobody on, so no double play, but Defoe handles it. 2 up, 2 down for Josh Bell. 1-4 for Bell, and he grounds to second. Dozier's got it, so an easy inning again for Patrick Corbin. And that's going to do it for the Pirates here in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0 in favor of the Nationals. And that brings up Anthony Rendon. And Rendon grounded to Bell his first time up. 4-10, and that's going to be a leadoff walk. So a leadoff walk to Rendon. He will not be held at first base. Brings up Soto. Flew to right his first chance. 5-7, and that's a 1-18 single. 19-20, and Bell will snag it. And it's a base hit, 1 star. So Rendon can only go. He will only be able to go to second base. But now 2 are on with nobody out for Ryan Zimmerman. Neither runner being held. Zimmerman, nothing on the 20. Got to avoid a double play for sure. 2-6, and he did for sure. 1-6 is a 3-run homer. 7-20 is at least an RBI double. And that's a double for Ryan Zimmerman. That will score Rendon to make it 2-0. We'll see about Soto. He was the trail runner not being held. He runs at a 14. Give him a 15 for not being held. The homer goes to center, or the double goes to center. Marte's a -3, so they're going to hold Soto with nobody out. They will hold him at third. So it's an RBI double for Zimmerman. Nationals lead at 2-0. And the Pirates have to bring the infield in early. Down 2-0. They can't afford to give up any more cheap runs. Yan Gomes, the batter. Nothing on the 20. 4-4. And that's a ground ball, third base X. Third base is Gung. He's a 4, so this could be trouble. As a 4, he's going to need... To get to this, he's going to need an 11 or better, because results 7 through 10 have the pound sign saying if the infield's in, it gets past him. So he needs 11 or more to get to this. And he does. It's a 12, so he does get to it. However, as a 12, it's a G3, which means the runners are going to advance. Even with the infield in, the runners are going to advance. So let's check for an error on Gung. He's an E35, so it could be an error on top of everything else. And an E35 as a third baseman, he's got to avoid 11, 12, 13, 14, and 17. And that is an 11, so that will be an error on top of everything else. So that will be an error on Gung. So Gung, obviously not the fleetest of or best of fielders out there. And Gung, let's see, let's check it out. G3. Let's look at what the chart says. Let's go by what the chart says. Chart says G3 with an error. So E1 says error, batter to first, runners advance 1 base. That's kind of all it says. Where if there had not been an error, second and third, the infield in would have been a decide, which means the defense would have had to make a choice. But since he made an error, there was no choice. It's just an E5. It's a 1 base error. But Soto will score, and Zimmerman will go to third. So now runners are at the corners with still nobody out for Yan Gomes. Gomes will not be held. And here's Defoe. 1 chance for a wild pitch. His wild pitch is a 2. But there's no wild pitch. So here's Defoe. Infield in again for the Pirates. 6-5. He's a switch hitter batting left. 6-5. Fly ball center field B. That's going to be a sac fly. So Zimmerman will score on the sacrifice fly by Defoe. That's out number 1, but the Defoe does his job, and now the Nationals lead it 4-0. And that'll bring up Patrick Corbin. He could bunt again, but I think this time they'll let him swing away. They got lucky on the bunt last time. 4-8. He's a lefty, 4-8. And look at that. He found a good one not to bunt. Look at that. A 1-4 triple, 5-20 is a double. That's a 1. Patrick Corbin just tripled. I don't think he had any triples in real life, so that's kind of a definite skew. He had a double, but no triple. Now, a computer game a lot of times will alter this result to only be a double in Super Advanced because of the effects. So I think I'm gonna give him a double on this, not a triple. So since he didn't have any triples, I'm only gonna give him a double, and Gomes is gonna stop at third base. That's just my own preference. It may be wrong, but that's just what I'm doing because it's just not realistic. So he did hit a double in real life, so I'll give him that, but he hit no triples. So if somebody has no triples, I'm not allowing them to get a triple. All right, so second and third, 1 out, infield still in for Victor Robles. Nothing on the 20, and bullpen activity for the Pirates, of course, going right now as Francisco Liriano is loosening in the pen, the lefty. 3-8. 3-8 is a pop up to second. So all these hits in column 3, and he found a pop up to second. So runners have to hold. And they'll stay right there. Now the infield can go back to normal for Adam Eaton. But he's not out of the woods yet because Eaton doubled his last time up. 4-4. Ground ball third base X. That's still trouble because that's Gung again. And he is a 4. That's a 15 though, so he'll get to this one. Now the error is the problem. That is a, ooh, that's trouble again. That's a 16. And he's an E35. E35, but he avoids a 16. It's 11, 12, 13, 14, and 17. He avoided that. So Gung somehow got to that and made the tough play, and the Nationals will settle for 3 runs, if you want to call it settling. Could have been a lot worse. Had I counted Corbin's triple as a triple instead of a double, it would have been a 5th run, but I didn't think that was right to do that. So it's 3 runs, and we're going to call them all earned because the double, I'm sorry, the double, the sac fly and the double, that error had no effect on anybody scoring. Those 3 runs would have scored without the error, so they're all earned. Let's see, there was 1 error, of course. 2 left on base, and a total of 3 hits. So we go to the 5th. It's Washington 4 and Pittsburgh nothing. Now Williams is set to bat 5th this inning, so if they get to that spot in the order, they will pinch hit. But they may not get there, so we'll see. Corbin now been given a 4-0 lead to protect. And he'll be facing Pablo Reyes. 6-7 on Corbin is a ground ball second base X. That is Dozier. He's a 3. And to get to a 3, or to get to it as a 3 rated second baseman, he needs a 5 or greater. And he gets there. Now it's an E8. He's got to avoid 16, 17, and 18. Which he does. It's actually a 5, so that means it's a rare play. And the result on the 3 was a G1. So a G1 rare play. Let's see, with no runner on first, the batter grounds out with the runners holding. All right, so if there had been a run on first, there would have been some shenanigans, but this is just a straight ground up because nobody was on. So Reyes is retired, 1 down for J.B. Shuck. 2-7 for Shuck, and that is a single, possibly. Again, that computer card sometimes is hard to see. It's a single. Looks like a single with just a 1 here. That's all I'm seeing is a 1. So the D20 has to be a 1 or else it's a ground out. The way I'm seeing it. Single 1-star with a 1. Anything else is a ground out. And it's a ground out, so we'll say grounds to second. So there's 2 down. And that will send up Jacob Stallings, the catcher. 2-8 for Stallings against that lefty. He flies to center, and the inning's over. So another 3 up, 3 down inning for Corbin. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 4-0 Nationals. Now Williams, they will let him go ahead and try to pitch this inning because he's scheduled to bat second in the upcoming inning. But of course, if he runs into trouble, they will go to the bullpen and just worry about pitching. Right now, Williams is back out. See if he can't rebound from that rough 4th inning. Rendon, the batter. Nationals sent 8 to the plate. I'm sorry, it's not Rendon, it's Dozier. Dozier was the only one that did not bat last inning, as the Nationals sent 8 to the plate. So Dozier is up. He's 0 for 2. 6-10. Ground ball shortstop X, and that is Gonzalez. He's a 3 E21. So as a 3, he needs to have a 5 or more to get to it, which he does. And as an E21, he's got to avoid 6, 15, and 17. And he does. So it's a good play for the shortstop. Gonzalez, 1 down. Here's Rendon. 2-5, and that's a solid single for Anthony Rendon. His first hit, he will not be held. And Juan Soto, the batter. Nothing on the 20. Here's Soto. 2-10 for Soto, and that's another ballpark home run chance. He missed it last time. He's got a second chance. 1-11 would do it. That's a 14. He misses again with a deep fly to right. That's twice he's missed out on home runs with a ballpark If that had been back in Philly, that would have been 2 home runs, I believe. So that brings up Zimmerman. Rendon still at first, not being held. Zimmerman 2-3, and that's a ballpark single check, which for right-handers is a 1-12. And it's a 17, so they fail on that one too. D20 was not kind to Washington on that one. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the 6th. It is Washington 4, Pittsburgh nothing. Oh, we can go ahead and close the book on Williams because he's going to come out for a pinch hitter. So Williams ends up going 5 innings, and he's going to give up 5 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. He walked 1, 2, and he struck out 1, 2, struck out 2. That's what I have him for unofficially till it goes in the computer. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Pirates, and it's going to be a right-hander because they got right-handers coming up. So it won't be Liriano as once thought. It'll be somebody else. We'll figure out who that is shortly. Right now we need a pinch hitter because we're going to get Gonzalez and then the pitcher spot. So pinch hitting for the Pirates will be Melky Cabrera. He's the only non-lefty they have on the bench except for the backup catcher, Cervelli. And they really don't want to use up their backup catcher in case of an injury. So Melky Cabrera, the switch hitter, will be on to pinch hit here in the 6th. I'm sorry, here in the 6th. All right, so Cabrera. And this is the point of weakness inning for Corbin, so keep an eye on that. First off, it's Gonzalez. He has the only hit of the game for the Pirates so far, 5-8. He's going to strike out this time. So the Pirates been stymied on just 1 hit. And here comes Cabrera, batting from the right side. Why did I roll the D20? I have no idea. It's not needed. 1-5. 1-5 is a single, so it's a pinch hit single for Cabrera. That's hit number 2 for the Pirates. And it's Cabrera that gets it done. He will not be held. He's a terrible base runner. Now I roll the 20, and there's a 1, so chance of a wild pitch, it's a 4 or less. And no wild pitch. So here's Adam Frazier. 4-8 lefty, 4-8's a strikeout. So Corbin registers another K. 2 down for Starling Marte. Nothing on the 20. 4-6 against the righty, struck him out. So Corbin, outside of the hit by Cabrera, strikes out the side. No runs a hit, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 4-0 in favor of the Nationals. And Corbin is set to bat 3rd this inning. So they may pinch hit for him, but they may let him keep going, though, because he's pitching so well. They may just have to deal with him being a bad hitter. But he's got a 4-0 shutout going, so they're not going to take him out. That is for sure. All right, so the Pirates actually are going to turn to... Who do they want to go to here? They're going to go to Richard Rodriguez, a right-hander out of the bullpen. And on the 19 season, Rodriguez, 4-5, 3.72 ERA and 1 save in 65 innings. So Richard Rodriguez is on. And he will be on to face Gomes, Defoe, and Corbin. And one thing I forgot to do, I should have done it, and I apologize for not doing it. I planned on doing it, and somehow just totally slipped my mind. I gave the starting lineups, but I didn't give who the bench players were for the Pirates because it's a new team, and you may not know who's on the active roster. Well, you already saw Melky Cabrera. He pinch hit, so he's done. They also have Colin Moran, Francisco Cervelli, Jason Martin, and Kevin Kramer. Those are their 4 bench players that are still left. Let's look at their bullpen availabilities. They have Nick Kingham, Keona Kella, I guess his name is, Nick Birdie. Those are 3 right-handers they have left. 2 lefties in the bullpen, Francisco Liriano and Felipe Vasquez. So that's who they have on the bench now and in the bullpens. I meant to do that before this first game started and just totally slipped my mind. So I did want to put that out there so in case you're wondering why I bring certain people in or why I don't use a certain guy, it's because he's not on the roster. Nationals roster is unchanged from the last game. However, after this game is over, Justin Miller will go on the injured list, and they'll be bringing up Austin Williams from the minors. But that's tomorrow, not today. All right, here's Yan Gomes. He is 0 for 2, reached on an error. Rodriguez, a 5-5, and that's a strikeout. It's a dot there, but first batter faced, so obviously not tired. One away. Brings up Defoe. That's a 5-9. 5-9. Defoe's a switch hitter batting left as a ground ball shortstop X. And that is Gonzalez. He's a 3. He needs a 7 or better to get to it. I'm sorry, he needs a 5 or better to get to it. And he does. And as an E7, he's got to avoid 3, 16, and 18. I'm sorry, he's E21. My bad. 11 on the E21. He's got to avoid 6, 15, and 17. I was looking at third base to the shortstop. So it's good play for Gonzalez. 2 down. And now that'll bring up Corbin with 2 outs and the base is clear. But he's off the pitcher card again. 6-6. This time, though, it doesn't help him. He strikes out. So 3 up and 3 down for Rodriguez means he can go 2 innings now, so that the Pirates aren't, wearing out their bullpen in the first game of the series. So he will come back and pitch the 7th as well. And Patrick Corbin will come out and pitch the 7th. He has 1 ding against his point of weakness. He's allowed 4 now because we're into a 2nd inning. So as long as he gives up 3 or 2 base runners or less, he's okay. So Gung, 0 for 2. It's a 3-11, and that's a ground ball to the pitcher Corbin with an injury. We're not doing injuries, so simply a 1-3 ground out. Easy play. Brings up Josh Bell. He's been quiet, 0 for 2. In fact, most of the Pirates have been quiet. 2-5, and he's going to strike out. So Corbin is bucking for some good stuff here. Let's see. This doesn't say how many shutouts he had, so I'm not, or complete games, so I didn't look that up. We'll see how far he can go. Here's Reyes. Don't want to jinx him. 4-9. I might have. It's a walk. So that's 1 more notch against him. And here's J.B. Shuck. Reyes will not be held. Nothing on the 20. Shuck, 6-3, and that is a split chance. 1 to 10's a single with 1 star. 11 to 20, and Dozier will grab it. And Dozier snags it to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. 7th inning stretch time here at Nationals Park. It's still Washington 4 and Pittsburgh nothing. And as a reminder, game 2 of the series, it'll be Chris Archer for the Pirates against Anibal Sanchez of the Nationals. So Victor Robles will lead things off, followed by Eaton and Dozier, facing Richard Rodriguez in his 2nd inning of work. It's a 1-9, and he's going to strike out. So Rodriguez still pitching very well. Here's Eaton. 5-8, and that's a fly to left. That's hauled in by Reyes. 2 down. So Rodriguez certainly going to give him 2 innings, it appears. Here's Dozier, 2-7, and that's a walk. So that's just the first ding against him. First base runner he's allowed. Dozier will not be held. Here's Rendon. Score still 4-0 here in the 7th, so it's not over yet. 4-9, and that's well, it could be right here with the 1 to 13, because that's an in-home run check, and Rendon obviously with normal power. So a 1 to 13, and it is gone. And it's gone. Rendon, a 2-run homer, his 2nd of the season, and that kind of breaks the game open now. It is 6-0 Nationals, and it really puts the damper on a good outing by Rodriguez. What was a good outing, I should say. But now he's going to pitch 2 innings to give up at least 2 runs. Soto, 5-12. And that's a ground ball first base X. Josh Bell, he's a 4. And as a 4, he's got to have a 7 or greater to get to this. And he does not. It's a base hit. Make sure there's no error. He has to avoid. He's an E16, so he's got to avoid 3, 11, 12, 16, and 17. And that's 10, so there's no error, but it is a base hit. And now Rodriguez just about tired, but they're going to try to get him through this inning. They really don't want to go to their bullpen. They want to get him through this inning. Soto not being held. 3-5, and that's a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. But 2 runs for the Nationals. 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Rendon. 2 runs, 2 hits. No errors and a man left. We go to the 8th. It is Washington 6 And Pirates nothing. We'll finish up Rodriguez, clean up his details. He goes 2 innings, gives up 2 runs. They were both earned. He did strike out 3, and he walked 1, and he gave up 2 hits. But the walk was killer because that was a 2-out walk that preceded the home run. So we get a new pitcher in the 8th inning for the Pirates, just to mop up. And right now, we're still going to have Corbin out there for the Nationals. And the Pirates will need a pinch hitter for Rodriguez, as his turn is coming up in the order as well. It'll be Stallings, Gonzalez, and a pinch hitter. And they're going to go to the only other right-hander they have, which is the backup catcher, Francisco Cervelli. So it'll be Stallings, Gonzalez, and Cervelli due up here in the 8th inning. 6-0 Nationals. Stallings leads things off against Patrick Corbin. 1-7, and that's a single for Stallings. So 1 more base runner, and Patrick Corbin will reach his fatigue level. We'll keep a monitor on that. Gonzalez, nothing going on. 3-11, and that's ground ball second base C, so the runner will advance. I'll move Stallings to second with 1 out for Francisco Cervelli, and Stallings will not be held. Nothing on the 20. Here's Cervelli. 5-5, and that's trouble. He does have normal power, so a 1-9 can be a home run. 10-20 is at least an RBI double, but a 1-9 is a homer, and Patrick Corbin will probably be through. It's a 7. It's gone. Home run. Pinch hit home run by Francisco Cervelli. A pinch hit 2-run homer. I don't have his stats in front of me for what he did because he's not a starter in this game. But it's a 2-run homer. And Patrick Corbin is now definitely tired. They may let him try to finish out. Well, I don't know. There's only 1 out. So I think, boy, well, you know what? They're going to pitch to Frazier, lefty on lefty. 4-6. Ooh, just missed a 4-7. Would have been a base hit off this tired, but 4-6 is a strikeout. So he strikes out Frazier. And that's the hat trick for Frazier. He struck out 3 times. And now with Marte coming up, they might be, you know what? They're going to try to let him finish out and get this 3rd out. And they hope that he avoids dots. His only dot, again, he's got 2 dots against the right-handed batters right here at 4-7 and 5-9. So he's got to avoid those 2 against Marte. And he does. It's off Marte's card. 3-11, but it's a ballpark home run chance, which is a 1-11. It's a 13, so it's going to be caught out there in deep left field by Soto. So Corbin, we complete Corbin. He went 8 innings. So we can wrap him up there. He stands to be the winner. He would go to 2-1 on the season early on. So 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. So he ends up giving up 4 hits, 2 runs that were earned. And let's check his walks and strikeouts. We got 3 here, 1 there is 4, 5, 6. I got him for 7 strikeouts. And I don't think he did walk 1. He walked Reyes and he hit a batter. He hit Marte. But there's your final line on, it's kind of written kind of small. 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts for Corbin. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 6-2 Nationals. And it'll be Gomes, Defoe, and a pinch hitter for Corbin. And we got to figure out who the new pitcher is going to be. That's the other thing, is who is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Most likely another right-hander, since we've got some right-handers coming up. But we'll check their bullpen availability and see who they have. Looks like it'll be Keone Kela. Keone Kela will be on. So Kela is aboard to pitch. And he'll be facing Gomes, Defoe, and a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter is going to be Matt Adams. So Matt Adams will pinch hit for Corbin in the 8th inning. And then in the 9th, we'll figure out who the Nationals are going to bring in. Probably will be, let's see, the Pirates are going to have a righty, a switch, and a righty. So probably a right-hander. Might be looking at Barraclaw. We'll see. Or it could be Justin Miller before he goes out injured. We might let him pitch one more time before he gets injured, because it was an off day before this game, so the bullpen's completely rested. no worries there about rest. So Gomes will lead things off, and of course Matt Adams will slip in here and pinch hit right after Defoe. So first things first is Gomes against Kale McKellar. 6'10", fly ball center field X. That's Marte. He's a 2. See if he can get to it. 2 and an 8 he does. He's got a void as an E6. That's a 4, so it should be okay. E6? No, 4 is an E1. How about that? No, it's a 5. I take it back. That is a 5. So 5 on a 2 and an 8, which is a F2. So an F2 rare play. Look at the F2 rare play. The outfield catches the ball, fly ball for an out. If there's a runner on third, he tags up and scores a run. Play is appealed. Well, I was talking about appeal play, but nobody's on third. So it's just simply a fly out. An easy fly out to center. Well, not easy, but a fly out to center field handled by Mr. Marte for 1 away. Here's Defoe. 2-6 for Defoe, and he's going to ground it back to Kella. 2 down, and that brings up the pinch hitter Matt Adams. 3-6 for Adams, and he struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. So 1 inning of nothing going on against Kella. Goes 1 inning, strikes out 1, gives up nothing else. So we go to the 9th. It is 6-2. Not a save situation, so there won't be a Doolittle sighting yet, unless the bullpen implodes. Right now, it'll be, they could use Suero. They could, I think they're going to use Miller because he's going to leave after this game to be injured. So we'll bring him in and get him 1 more outing and see if he can hang on. If he can't, they will certainly get the Doolittle going in the bullpen just in case, but they're going to try to see if they can't avoid that. So, Gung will lead things off against Miller here in the 9th. 6-2 Nationals. 6-8, and that is a fly ball to right field handled by Adam Eaton. 1 away. Brings up Josh Bell. 4-8, and that's a ballpark home run. That's that little pound sign right there. So it's a ballpark home run for Josh Bell, 1-11, and it's gone. 13, it is going to be a deep fly out to right field, so didn't quite get enough of it. And there's 2 down, and now it's all up to Pablo Reyes. They could pinch hit for Reyes. Let's see. They've got Kevin Kramer, although he's not very good. They got Jason Martin, who hits 250. Reyes hit 203. So they're going to bring in Kevin Kramer to pinch hit. Another computerized card. So Kevin Kramer will pinch hit for Reyes, a left-hander with a little bit better average. See what he can do here against Justin Miller. So Kramer is on there. It leaves Martin and Moran. Colin Moran, I think his name is. Moran and Martin, the M&M boys, are on the bench. That's who they got left. But it may not matter if the game gets over real quick. That's a 1-12 with the fly to left, and there's your ball game. And a 1-12 for Reyes. That would have been a possible base hit, 1-8. See if he would have gotten it. Yep, he would have gotten a base hit. So, oh well. Playing the percentages, better average and a lefty, and it's just the roll just didn't cooperate. So instead, it was a fly out to Soto to end the inning and the ball game. So the Nationals win it 6-2 and improve to 8-4. Pittsburgh drops to 4-8. Winning pitcher was Corbin. He is now 2-1. And the losing pitcher was Williams. He is now 0-3. And there was no save. So let's get the totals here. Miller went 1 inning and didn't give up anything. So for the Pirates, let's see, there was 1 error on Pittsburgh, none on the Nationals. Pirates mustered 4 hits and 2 runs. Nationals ended up with 6 runs, and let's see how many hits they had. Well, the Pirates left on 3. So let's see, the Nationals left on, they got 7 hits and left on 5. Okay, so there is your final total. a little bit messy, but hopefully it's legible. Nationals win this game. First game of a 3-game series. Win it by the score of 6-2. For the Nationals, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 5 left. For the Pirates, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 3 left. Patrick Corbin, your winner. He improves to 2-1. Trevor Williams takes the loss. He drops to 0-3, and there was no save. Washington, of course, jumps to 8-4. And Pittsburgh drops to 4-8. And we'll see how the Mets do and see whether the Mets keep pace or whether the Nationals can pick up a game. We shall see. And as we head into the next game, we'll make the little note here that Miller will be injured. And Austin Williams, little used Austin Williams in relief. I've got a computerized card of him that I printed out. So let me find his card so we can take a look at Austin Williams. There he is, Austin Williams. Boy, might not let him pitch too much. He was 0-0 with 162 ERA. No innings pitched, 5 hits, and gave up 2 home runs, a walk, and a strike. Well, he got a strikeout, so he should have some innings pitched. He got at least a third of an inning or something because he got a strikeout there. But you can look at his card. It's home run laden all over the place. So he is the ultimate mop-up guy. I mean, he pitched less than an inning in real life, so he may not even see any action, but he will be on the roster because Miller is going to the injured list. So that is the move. I'm going to make it right now so I can make sure that it's in place. So there you have it. Game number 12 is in the books, and it's a curly W for the Nationals as they win it 6-2 here at Nats Park over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Corbin the winner, Williams the loser. And the next game, of course, will be also against Pittsburgh, second game of the series. It will be right-hander Chris Archer taking on right-hander Anibal Sanchez. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.